Chicago's a railroad town, and it's about time the railroads started doing their jobs right.
Emphatic words from the attorney representing a family who will receive $54 million, the victims of a devastating railroad accident, making it the largest verdict of its kind in Illinois history. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cynthia Santana.
And I'm John Davis. A huge verdict for 3 family members left brain damaged after a train hit their car. A jury says they deserve more than $54 million. Chris Hernandez joins us with tonight's top story. And Chris, I understand the railroad admitted it made a mistake.
Well, yes, John. During the trial, the railroad, Illinois Central, said it knew the crossing gates were broken and said the train's engineer should have stopped before crossing the intersection. Now a jury says the railroad should pay big money to help the victims recover. The accident happened in DuPage County just over a year ago. The warning gates were broken when an Illinois Central freight train hit a Ford Explorer. 3 people suffered brain damage. At the time, the driver, Lilia Apuleo, told us she was lucky to have lived.
They can do something about it, because this is terrible. That, it can happen to somebody and can kill somebody.
Now, a Cook County jury says Lilia and her parents should get more than $54 million because the railroad knew the crossing gates were broken but let the train through at full speed anyway.
Chicago's a railroad town, and it's about time the railroads started doing their jobs right. Too many of these crossing accidents, there's too many malfunctioning gates and lights out there, and too many lives are being ruined.
The jury nailed the railroad because a dispatcher mistakenly told the train crew the crossing had been repaired, so the train didn't stop like it should have.
Yeah, it's been repaired, over.
A lawyer says Fidel and Francisca Velarde used to be 72-year-olds full of life and energy.
She was working, active, they were both very independent, and their lives have become one of dependence and burdens on their family.
Lawyers say the money will pay for medical care the victims will need the rest of their lives. In the story, you heard comments from the driver just after the accident. In the weeks that followed, Lilia's condition became worse. Her lawyer says now, because of brain damage, the 40-year-old woman functions at the level of a 9-year-old. John?
Thanks, Chris. Lawyers say this is the biggest verdict against a railroad in Illinois history and ranks in the top of personal injury awards in the state. The railroad still, of course, has the right to appeal. Cynthia?